It's good. It's good. I think our schedule kind of gives us the opportunity to open up a little bit more, knowing that we have more time off. We can kind of, you know, let out the tank as much as possible. And we have a lot of install in, and we're ready for every situation to come up, and we kind of talk about that. I think that the whole entire defense is coming into a whole new mindset, and so we can kind of see that now. Full pads, all those live periods today kind of fired us up. It was good.
Is there any areas that you see the defense needing to work on and improve in the next few weeks before that first game?
Oh, everything. I mean, it goes from, substitutions, communication, front end and the back end, with the new earpiece that we have and everything that goes into it. Just everybody learning to install, competitive depth that we have, kind of seeing where we can put guys into places and stuff like that. Kind of simulate if somebody goes down, who's going to step in, who can do that job. All that type of stuff kind of plays a factor in that, and so I think that just definitely substitutions and communication can always improve.
Are you wearing the earpiece on the field?
We haven't really decided yet. We have a few of us working through it, but there's, highs and lows every single day we have, but that hasn't been decided yet.
Does it change anything for you having that earpiece, or how does it change the game for you?
I think we can go a little bit faster, and instead of have to look to the sideline every single play, we kind of just always look at what the offense is doing, and then hear it through the earpiece, and then translate it to the rest of the defense.
Which coach is talking to you through the earpiece?
DeRuiter.
It is DeRuiter?
Yes, sir.
Jacob, we hear all the time about offensive guys having to study their playbook pretty often. What does that look like on the defensive side of things?
It's the same thing. Every play is different, and I think cover 2 is cover 2, cover 3 is cover 3. It's all pretty much the same, but we have different calls, different ways we like to match it, which ways we like to go vision, that type of stuff. So definitely studying all those different little nuances, but it's a little different when it's 1st and 10 versus 3rd and 3, right? So you have to play every single call differently, and we have to look at it like that. So year 3 has definitely helped us for sure. We have a lot of guys who know the defense and are getting more comfortable in earlier installs, so that way we can get to the more of the actual situational football, but still definitely studying a lot.
Along those lines, how much more do you know now than you did a year ago at this point, with regards to the defense, with what you're expecting to see, what you're expecting to do, the whole package?
It's everything. Leaps and bounds. I think not just me, but the whole defense, young guys and old guys, we can continue to push ourselves, and knowing the nuances of little stuff, kind of where the running back is, level 1, 2, or 3, or kind of where the linemen are looking, just different stuff for the game that you don't even think about when you're trying to figure out what your alignment is, what your job is. And once you have that down, then you can start thinking about actually playing situational football. And so I think that we have a lot of guys way ahead of where they were, even in the spring, not even a year ago, but even in the spring, we're leaps and bounds ahead. We put so much work in this summer, continuing to install and keep those calls fresh in our minds.
Who's the best guy at tackling Taj Brooks right now?
Oh, nobody. Taj Brooks is, he's worth the money to come see him, for sure.
So who are some of the young players that are showing out on the defense?
Mm-hmm. That whole DB room, there's between vets and young guys, different transfers and that type of stuff. Those guys are playing really well. In the past, we really haven't had 2 cleanup practices with thudding and running through ball carriers. And right now, defensive line, linebackers, all 3 levels, we're doing exactly what we're coached to do. And it's really fun to see. Everybody's kind of picking it up. There's too many people, I would say, to name one.
So what is the one thing that you still need to work on, as you've worked on all these things that you still need to work on?
Oh, there's way more than one. But I would say right now a glaring thing is communication. Just trying to get guys lined up, especially the tempo, because our offense is a very fast-paced offense every day in practice. Trying to get guys lined up, hearing the call, echoing the call, talking the front end, back end, trying to get guys lined up for the offensive formation, that type of stuff. Communication can always be better. We always talk about obnoxious communication. And so no matter if you have to talk about it or you don't have to talk about it, talk about it. It's something that needs to be echoed, needs to be understood.
So how's the game slowed down for you?
The game has slowed down because the installs. And so year 3 of finally picking into his defense and knowing not what to do, but why we do it. And so that type of stuff will help you kind of look more at what the offense is doing. Situational football, whether it's third down or first down, second down, that type of stuff, kind of knowing where they like to go, sideline, hashes, numbers, kind of just where on the field, what depths, and that type of stuff.
Jacob, Joey mentioned you, Ben, and Bryce as kind of the leaders of this team. Who on the defensive side, the younger guys are kind of coming to you for maybe some more advice, a couple of extra reps with you just to learn from your craft?
I'm sorry.
Is there any young guys that are kind of coming to you for advice right now?
I think our whole room, so our whole inside linebacker room as a core, we all, we like to think that we all are coached the same. And so there's nobody different from starter to all the way to the end of the depth chart. Same goes for the rest of the defense. And so I get some of our new D linemen, Keyshawn, they come and talk to me, and we'll hash it out that way. Or I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. Everybody's open to communicate, and that's kind of the philosophy that Joey's brought here. And so it's open communication for everybody. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows that we're all in this together, and it's kind of something that we do. And so our defense is really taking a leap that way. And it's not just the inside backers. It's not just the DBs. It's not just the D line. We're all communicating with each other, figuring out how we can play different things better.
Jacob, there was a video a couple weeks back with Bryce working on some individual stuff with a linebacker trainer. Do you have any linebacker trainer like that you kind of work with in the offseason, or anybody that you kind of go to for some extra work?
No, I don't. I saw that video. Bryce was working hard. I don't have one.
So what does your offseason look like over the summer as far as work on the field and maybe even in the weight room also?
Yeah, so just doing stuff up here with the strength staff, everything, strength conditioning and running. But then I like to get out, me and teammates like to get out of the facility as much as possible, right? Because doing the same thing over and over can get repetitive, and then you can start losing why you do it. And so we like to get out of the facility, do different things. So we'll go and do hot yoga, or we'll go and do boxing. We'll figure out different ways, different things that can help us, right? The stretching and yoga, that type of stuff, like the patience. And then we'll go boxing, try to get how we can use our hands and distribute our weight. Just different things that'll help pour into football, but are kind of more on the outside rim of that. But then obviously we do football school in the summer, and so we're still here communicating different installs and different calls. And then we do Indy 3 times a week. We do a little tackling circuit between the backers every other day in the summer. And so we're tackling year round. And so not a lot of people do that because you just tackle during the season and then you don't. But if you tackle year round, it kind of keeps you in the groove of doing it the right way and then being more aggressive with it.
And what kind of group of guys do y'all have that go do the yoga and the boxing? Is it just strictly your fellow guys in the linebacker room, or is it kind of like a mix of anybody on the team? How does that kind of look?
Yeah, anybody. So we go and do hot yoga. It'll mainly be the inside backers just because the place isn't that big. But then when we go boxing, I mean, it's everybody. Linemen, Taj is there, Caleb's there. Different linemen like Sterling was there. A lot of different guys, tight ends, outside backers, DBs. We have everybody going, just trying to do different things, trying to figure out. Big thing with that is just weight distribution, and trying to get front, back, side to side, kind of how we can shoot our hands, just different things like that you wouldn't really think of, but that really will help play a role.
Jacob, you mentioned a moment ago you're tackling year round. Your time here, did that change? It wasn't that way from the beginning of your time here, was it?
Oh, no, sir. Yeah, so we kind of met with a tackling guru in the rugby world. And so he made these pads for tackling for rugby. And so we kind of took those on. And obviously, it's a little bit different of a contact because we have pads on and all that different stuff from rugby. But yeah, tackling year round is something that can continue to improve instead of taking 4 months off or 5 months off. I mean, that's hard to do. And so if you only did tackle in spring ball and then during the season, you're missing out on a lot of time to keep your fundamentals and everything like that. And so we do that pretty much year round now, where we're tackling, which it's light, it's not too much contact, right? It's just on a tackle bag and you can do it without pads on. And it's very low impact, but it still gets your feet in the right position, your body in the right position. You're always staying loaded, your head up, all that type of stuff.
You said that began when then?
2 years ago, I think. Yes, sir. 2 years ago. Yeah.
And Joey mentioned, he had said previously that weren't as good at tacklers in space, weren't bad, but weren't as good at tacklers in space as you needed to be last season, the defense as a whole, and that you changed some tackling circuits in spring?
Mhm.
Can you?
Yeah, so kind of we're doing exactly what the coaches are teaching us to do, and so with that, we weren't really trusting it, I would say, as players, what they were coaching us to do, because it's I don't know the phrase for it, but it's very simple, but it's not easy, right? So it's a very simple concept, but on the field it's not easy to do, and so we just bought into it at the beginning of the spring, and so our tackling in space and everything like that still can improve leaps and bounds, right? But as a whole, it is going at the incline.
Who would you say is the best pure tackler on the team?
Oh gosh.
You can say
You can say yourself.
No,
That'd be the answer.
No, I don't know. At this point, I feel like we all just work too hard on it. I think it would be an insult to call somebody a pure tackler for how much like practice they put into it. You know, so like I don't want to call anybody out. I mean, I feel like they all work incredibly hard and they're all really good tacklers. It's hard to name one. I'll say it's hard to name one. Yeah.
All right.
It seems like.
That'll be the last question right here with Don.
It seems like football in the last 10, 15 years or so has gone more to less contact to kind of prevent injuries or what, and keep your bodies fresh and all those sorts of things. So you've experienced it both ways, where you went, like you said, 4 months or so where you're not really tackling, and now you sound like you're a big advocate of doing it this way. Did you always feel that way, or have you just kind of come into that thinking since you've experienced tackling year round?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think just kind of how we're doing it now makes sense to me. Looking back, it made sense to kind of take time off of your body. But how we do it now, it's such low impact that I don't really think that it makes a difference during the year. Football is a violent game. We all know that. And so if you can take the load off your body, it's the best thing to do. But how we do it and how we're coaching it and how Book's teaching it, it's very low impact in the off season. And so we're still getting a lot of reps and fundamentally learning how to tackle over and over and over again. But I don't think you can beat the amount of reps that we're getting. Just being able to tackle year round, every single rep that we're getting is worth, it's worth everything.
All right, thank you for the time, Jacob.
Appreciate y'all.